Good morning, students. In the previous class, we started applications of biotechnology and we have studied various applications and what genetically modified organisms are. Genetically modified organisms, genetically modified plants, genetically modified animals, genetically modified microbes like bacteria or fungi, all this comes under it. Means the genetic material has been altered and modified to express new characters, new functions to perform, to produce useful products in short time, in large scale. So here, whenever genetic material is modified, such condition is called transgene. If any new genes are added to the normal organisms, natural organisms, hence because of the addition of genes, or some of the genes may be removed, subtraction of the genes, genetically modified organisms are made. So either by gene addition, we can produce genetically modified organism, or by gene subtraction, by removing some of the genes, we can produce genetically modified organisms. Such plants generally called transgenic plants. So genetically modified plants. What is the use of these genetically modified plants? Usage of genetically modified plants or organisms, it made first option to produce in the NCERT textbook, page number 208, they have given some 5 characteristic features of genetically modified plants. To produce plants resistant to abiotic stresses. Abiotic means non-living. Like in brackets they have given cold, drought. Drought means less water, salt and heat conditions. Let us write all the 5, then we will go for explanation. Second one, to reduce reliance. Reliance means dependence. On pesticides or insecticides. What is this? To reduce dependence on pesticides. Why we are using pesticides? To grow the plant properly, to keep them away from insect pests or any pests. So how it is we are going to see. To produce the plant resistant to abiotic stresses, reduce reliance or dependence on pesticides, to increase efficiency in mineral usage, prevent early exhaustion of fertility of soil, to reduce post-harvest losses. To reduce post-harvest losses, it means we will see. enhanced nutritional value in the plants, like production of vitamin A, enriched rice, which is called golden rice. They have not mentioned this in the textbook. That word golden rice they have not mentioned. So there are 5 ways. Along with this, in addition to these, sixth one, tailor-made plants, production of tailor-made these tailor-made plants as supplements, supplying supplementary food material, supplementary products like starches, biodiesel, which is called biofuel, and pharmaceuticals. In other industries. So supply of supplementary products like starches, biodiesel or biofuel, and pharmaceuticals, these are all other supplementary products which are produced by the genetically modified plants, like a tailor-made plants. My dear students, we have to see all these things in detail. In the page number, I think 208 or 209, 208, in the first, second paragraphs, below the Green Revolution. So usage of how genetically modified plants are used by human beings. What are the benefits of genetically modified plants? For what purpose we are going to alter the genetic makeup of an organism? Why we are changing the plants to suit to our needs, for our requirements. So with the help of genetical modification, we can produce plants which are resistant to abiotic stresses. This first step, produce plants resistant to abiotic stresses like cold, drought. Cold means extreme low temperature conditions. Drought means less water availability. Whenever water source is very less, such condition is called drought. Opposite is flood, more water. Floods are more water. Drought means less water or no water. Salt condition of the soil, all plants cannot grow in salt. All plants cannot grow in cold. All plants cannot grow in drought. All plants cannot grow in high temperatures, heat. It means some plants can grow in cold. Some plants they may grow in drought. Some may be growing in saline conditions or maybe heat resistant. So the first point is scientist, a biotechnologist, a research scholar, he has to search for the wild varieties of plants which are the relatives of these crop plants, our crop plants, for example. So plants are 2 types. Wild nature, they are growing. It means without human management. Human being is not going to take them. He is not going to ground the soil or going to give fertilizer or not watching it. They were growing themselves in wild environmental conditions. Such plants are called wild plants. Whereas some of these wild plants are taken into human hands, which is called domestication of plants. And gradually, he prepared crop plants from these. So domesticated plants from the beginning of human civilization are called crop plants. So whenever plants comes under human management, which is called agriculture, he developed various varieties of plants. He is going to take care of them. Domestication like animals, he will prepare crops, he will get yield. So plants are wild and domesticated crops. Crop plants are called domesticated under human management. Wild plants are naturally growing. So, for this purpose, to make a genetically modified crop resistant to these, they have to observe various locations, various areas where wild plants can grow in cold conditions. How they are able to go in cold conditions? Because they were having some genes in their body which can resist to the cold temperatures. So our duty is, a research scholars, a genetist, plant breeders duty, a biotechnologist duty is to identify those plants, to get those genes and manipulate, alter those genes, and with the help of a vector or by direct methods incorporating into the crop plants. Like that, or those genes can be incorporated into cells of plants. The cells can be undergone tissue culture. Plantlets can be produced in the laboratory. These plants, after plantlets, after some time can be shifted to the soil. So biotechnology, where genetic engineering and tissue culture, from small plant cells we can grow a new plant completely. We can produce new plants. It means to produce plants resistant to abiotic stresses, we have to identify the wild plants with having genes for these resistance. Searching for the wild relative plants wild relatives of plants that have the genes resistant for various abiotic stresses like cold. So if any plant is found in cold environment, collect that plant's gene and manipulate, genetically engineer and produce a new plant, genetically modified plant for resistance towards the cold. If any plant is able to withstand for long time without water, drought conditions, the genes are taken from that plant, they were engineered, they were incorporated into a crop plant. So crop plant will become a genetically modified plant, resist against drought conditions. And the plant drought, salt. Example, tomato plants are able to produce resistance against salt conditions. And heat, various plants which are living in extreme conditions, they were capable of living in those extreme conditions is because of their genes. And any plant which is having these diversified genes for diverse conditions, we have to identify, you have to search, we have to take, we have to remove their genes, we have to clone their genes, we have to incorporate those genes into cultivated crops. Like that, we can produce a genetically modified crop plant. Second one. So, with the help of genetically modified plants, we can produce, for example, a plant here we are having cold condition. Apple is growing in cold conditions. It cannot be grown here. We can adapt that plant to make it in heat conditions. The genes which are present in these plants are incorporated into the apple, and apple will be made to grow in the heat conditions. Like that. Or any plant which cannot grow in the cold condition of our normal crop plants, we can modify them and we'll send them to cold conditions to grow like apple. So second one, first one's explanation. To reduce reliance means dependent on pesticides or insecticides. To reduce. So for example, crop plants are made, domesticated after irrigation, soil fertility, fertilizers. Plants may be affected with various pests, insect pests or any microbial pests. So for the sake of to safeguard these plants, we have to use pesticides or insecticides on these plants. And whenever we are going to use pesticides or insecticides, the expenses for the purchase of pesticides is too costly, expensive, year by year. Normal farmer cannot afford that such expensive pesticides. Moreover, whenever pests are sprayed, it causes indirect harm to various other living organisms of the environment. So there is a harmful effect of pesticides on the environment. That's why to reduce the dependence on pests. How to reduce the dependence on pests? If with the help of genetical modifications we can produce pest resistant plants. If pest resistant plants are produced, reduce the, so there is no use of pesticides. Plant itself is a pest resistant. If any insect is going to harm it, it is self defensive, not able to get any harm with that insect. If any pest is acting on that plant, it is self resistant against the pests. So if we could develop pest resistant plants, we can reduce the dependence on pesticides. So we have to reduce dependence on, reliance on pesticides. Why we don't want to use pesticides? Why we want to reduce the pesticides? Because of two causes. What are those two causes? One is expensive, and second one is they are having harmful effects on the environment. So second explanation, reduced reliance on the usage of pesticides. So the use of pesticides should be decreased, lowered, or no use at all. If a plant is produced as a biopesticide plant resistant against pests, there is no use of any pesticides. Third, to increase efficiency in mineral usage, which is nothing but prevent early exhaustion of fertility of soil. My dear students, listen carefully. To increase efficiency in mineral usage, what is this? Let us see. First and second one clear now? So first one, to produce, we cannot create a new plant all of a sudden. Not human being is not a god to create, if any god is there existing. So already whatever available genes are there in the various environmental conditions, we have to search for those. From the genes only it is possible to make it genetically modified organisms. To increase efficiency in mineral usage, see here, this is a particular area of soil. Under cultivation, agriculture. Here plants are there. In this soil, there are all plants. So generally, soil is having its mineral source. By the withering of rocks, soil minerals will be formed continuously by a continuous process. Moreover, we are adding some fertilizer to the soil. Fertilizer. In the fertilizers, critical elements, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, NPK, which are always required by the plants, always easily taken by the plants, always they are depleted in the soil, and always we have to supply these elements to the Here the concept is to increase efficiency in mineral. It means natural plants, natural plants, they should be bona fide with the capacity of taking the minerals from the soil according to the root shoot ratio or some other absorption criteria or movement by osmosis or the differential concentration of minerals in the soil and the plant. So various conditions, water potential gradient. If normal plants are not enough efficient to take the minerals from the soil, minerals will be there in the soil itself only. Minerals are present in the soil. Minerals are present. Why minerals are present? Because plant is not sufficient efficient to take the minerals. So it is not capable of, because of its genetic nature, because of so many factors and conditions. So what generally farmer will thought, plant is not showing any growth properly. So what he wants to give fertilizer extra. Excessive supply of fertilizer. Excessive supply of. Why this is so? Generally plant is present in a soil. In the soil naturally some minerals are there, rock minerals which are available. A plant has to take that. Again we will supply, like that it has to grow. But if it is inefficient to take the minerals present in the soil, it will not show any symptoms of growth. So generally when it is not showing any symptoms of growth, farmer will supply fertilizer. When he supplies fertilizer, it becomes excessive. Already minerals are there in the soil. Addition of more and more fertilizers, it makes the soil infertile. Fertility of the soil will exhaust. Even though more are there, more, but it is not supplied to the plant. Plant is not able to take. So soil will be having this, and it is physiologically dry soil. Even though it is there, like more water, more minerals, it is of no use. The soil will become waste, infertile. So with genetical modifications, if we alter the genetic makeup of these plants, they will be efficient. Increase the efficiency in mineral usage, mineral uptake and usage. If we change the genetic makeup of the plant will become efficient and it will utilize all the minerals. Again we can drop minerals in the form of fertilizer. They will take. So here, once whatever minerals are present here, if it is properly, efficiently used by the plant and taken by the plant and used by the plant, the further elements can be dropped in the soil. But elements are present in the soil, plant fails to get, there is a need of a genetic engineer. Here the genetic makeup of the plant has to be changed to get more efficiently. It has to take the minerals further. It will prevent early. So if it uses that, soil will not become infertile. So it will prevent early exhaustion of fertility of the soil. When it is not preventing, if we are not going to change the genetic makeup of the plant to take the mineral usage, increase efficiency in mineral usage. So my dear students, questions could be created in various dimensions. The main concept simply, again I am repeating, normal plants which are present, listen carefully, normal plants which are present in a soil, there are some minerals. They have to use them, but they were not in a position to use because of their genetic nature. So They were not showing any growth. So farmer will provide extra fertilizers to grow them. But excessive fertilizer, already fertilizer, makes the soil infertile, sterile soil. So there is a need that the organisms has to be made genetically modified. Why? Efficiently it has to take the minerals present in the soil. As and when minerals are present, it has to take freshly. We can drop the minerals. Again, like this process to increase efficiency in mineral usage. Third one, which can prevent. Fourth, to reduce post-harvest losses. My dear students, most important concept, to reduce post-harvest losses. Post-harvest means after cutting the plant, after getting the crop to the house. In an area of soil, in a hectare of land or acre of land, whatever plants we are growing here, they were called crop plants. This crop plant, for example, crop of tomatoes. Let us see this clearly. Crop, area of soil, and the plants are, tomato plants are here. Post-harvest losses means after it was grown, crop yield came, we have taken the tomatoes to the house for marketing. But here, normal tomato plants, I am giving you for example, normal tomato plants, after harvest, they were having a gene which produces polygalacturonase enzyme. Listen carefully. A normal tomato plant, in the tomato, that is the yield tomato, it has a gene. That gene is expressing an enzyme, producing an enzyme. That enzyme is polygalacturonase. This enzyme is responsible for acting on the cell walls and degrade the cell wall and degrade pectin in the cell wall. So cell walls, when the tomato are harvested, they may be green in color, from white to green, which unripened, and because of this gene, because of this enzyme, it acts on the cell wall, it will degrade the pectin, so becomes ripened or early ripening. Early ripening or over ripening. Let us see this. Whenever we have grown tomato plants in the garden, after harvesting the tomato, the normal ability of tomato is the genes responsible for production of enzyme. This enzyme on the tomato cell walls, the pectin is there, no, the hard material, they will reduce that hard material. When they reduce the hard material, the fleshy tomato will become thin and ripened. The next day itself, within 1 or 2 days, these tomatoes will become ripened. This is called over ripened. Over ripening is nothing but post harvest loss. It means My dear students, when today we have harvested that plant, we thrashed that plant, tomatoes from the crop to our house, we have to market this. The next day they have ripened. If we want to market these here to some other areas, from one country to other country for transportation, by the time they reach to the respective place, completely they will become rotten because of over ripening. Even after harvest, the loss, it is of no value. Over ripened tomatoes nobody will purchase. It will lose market value. So it is a loss to the farmer. So post harvest losses like over ripening, lost market value, it cannot be transported, to far areas. Why? Because from here, place of the crop plant, we are sending in containers to other country like Brazil or some other, Norway, some other, it will take 5-6 days, either by the sea or by the airlines. By the time it reaches, completely tomato crop will be spoiled because of over ripening, because of this enzyme, because of this gene. Now, to reduce this post harvest loss, let us see, it is not completed. We want to reduce this loss. How? We are going to take the gene of this tomato by genetic engineering, cut and remove the gene for the enzyme. So the gene which is responsible for the production of enzyme, this enzyme is responsible for ripening, early ripening or over ripening. So if we, genetic engineering means addition of any genes or removal of genes. Here we are going to subtract a gene which is responsible. We are going to silence the gene which is going to produce an enzyme. If this gene is not there, this enzyme will not be produced. So the cell walls will be thick and the shelf life of the tomato plant will be for many days. So for 1 week or 2 weeks, for 10 days or 15 days, they are not going to ripen. After, so delaying the period of ripening. Cut and remove the gene for the enzyme. Hence, a genetically modified tomato plant, genetically modified tomato plant called flavor saver variety. So flavor saver, the flavor is saved for a long time. Shelf life, again, what is shelf life, sir? Shelf means keeping in a gunny bag, in a shelf, in a basket. If it is normal, its shelf life is very short, 1 or 2 days it will ripen. So shelf life is short. Genetically modified plant shelf life is large. Shelf life, the freshness of tomato is increased or enhanced. The storing life of the, or the senescence is delayed. Delay of senescence we used to study in the hormones. So age of the tomato plant, which is tomorrow going to become old, it will not become old tomorrow. The shelf life, the age of aging or ripening process is delayed. To reduce post-harvest losses, genetically modified plants are used. Fourth concept. Remember, important concept. to reduce post-harvest losses. Fifth characteristic feature, enhanced nutritional value in plants. Generally, plants, different plants are having different nutritional qualities, and mostly maximum part of the world the staple food is rice, and rice is having only carbohydrates, but it is not having any other supplementary foods like proteins or fibers or some other. So human body is required, it requires along with the carbohydrates, it needs pulses, it needs fruits, it needs vitamins, it needs organic acids. So for the healthy life of human being, the most of the population of the world which is using rice, and by using the rice we can make up the polysaccharide, we can make up the carbohydrates in the plant body, and that is a deficiency of various nutrients like proteins. Protein deficiency draws these children, small children in various countries like Somalia, we have seen some diseases, malnutrition diseases, because they can afford rice. Poor people, poor countries, they can take rice, they can grow rice, they can eat rice, but along with the rice they cannot take pulses because the cost of pulses, dal, is 1 kg is 70 rupees or 80 rupees, or fruits 1 kg 30, 40, 50 rupees, whereas government is giving the rice at 1 kg or 2 rupees or 1 rupee or 5 rupees. So there is a deficiency of, there is a malnutrition in the upcoming childs, new generations. So with the help of genetically modified, enhanced means increased nutritional value in plants. For example, rice plants, only carbohydrates, no other. So rice plant, genetically engineered and modified by incorporating beta carotene genes which are responsible for vitamin A in rice. So protein deficiencies, vitamin deficiencies, some amount of protein is present in the rice, but after thrashing the rice, we'll send it to the mills for the polishing purposes, to make it, while polishing purposes, having protein rich endosperm layer will be washed out, and fine quality of rice, which is only carbohydrate, we are using protein content is absent. So the various research areas are there to grow vitamin A rich, they have given the textbook, 5th point, enhanced nutritional value in plants, vitamin A enriched rice, which is called golden rice because of beta carotene color is yellowish orange, golden brown, golden rice. In the same way, enhanced nutritional value in plants like potato, which are having only carbohydrates, starch, but potatoes with proteins, protein rich potatoes, they have not given in the textbook. Golden rice, protein rich potatoes are produced where the nutritional content in that plant is increased, enhanced. After the 5 points, in the next immediate paragraph they have given, in addition to this, tailor-made plants. My dear students, make it note, after these 5 points, add this protein rich potato, golden rice, vitamin A. Another paragraph they have given in the NCERT, in that they have given tailor-made plants. what is this tailor-made plants? What do you understand and how to understand this? For example, we want to stitch our cloth. We have taken a cloth, we went to a tailor. What he will do? Whatever our wish, whatever we want from that cloth. If we want to put one zip here to keep our ticket, he can put a zip. If we want a pocket with different colors, he will give two different colored pocket. If you want to give here a pocket, means he will give pocket, he will give another. So whatever wishes we want, whatever wishes we have in our mind, we will order to the tailor, he will cut the cloth or he will cut different cloths, he will join. This is called tailor-made. Here, with the help of science, increased knowledge in the genetic engineering, tools of genetic engineering, methods of genetic engineering and biotechnology, various process, cutting the genes, identification of the genes, separating the genes, joining the genes, and preparing recombinant DNA technology, and sending the genes from one organism into another organism's body, culturing the cells in large scale. With all these techniques, it is possible that several plants are used in such a way to produce supplementary food materials like starches, supplementary food materials like biodiesel, biofuel, and pharmaceuticals. So plant has become a pharmaceutical industry. It means with genetic engineering, we are going to incorporate some hormones, some proteins, some types of factors, for example, insulin, interferons. We are going to incorporate in the plants or microscopic organisms body, where they can be manipulated, they can be cloned in large scale. Hirudin, clotting factor, which is extracted from the leech and interpreted into a brassica plant. We can produce brassica seeds. By the brassica seeds, we can get hirudin. Like that, various genetically engineered organisms are there. They are responsible to produce. So, in this context, genetically modified organisms in the production of pest control plants. Genetically modified plants for the production of pest resistant plants. Which are called biopesticides. What does this mean? Genetical engineering, genetic modifications are in such a way on the plants to produce them, to make them resistant themselves to the pests. So this is a plant. On this plant, some specific pest will be acting, infesting, infecting, infestation. After that, it will take everything from the plant body. So automatically plant stops its growth, shows stunted growth or diseased symptoms, and finally it cannot grow properly. It cannot yield more. So the growth of the plant will be stopped, the yield of the plant will be stopped. Automatically plant is no more to produce yield. It cannot be used as a crop plant. For this, we have to use pesticides, chemical, agrochemicals, pesticides to kill the pests. And already we have studied that to lose or to stop the activity of the pest, we have to use pesticides, which are called chemicals. And these chemicals not only kill these pests, but also it will kill some other useful organisms. And these pests are expensive. So now, with the help of genetic engineering, genetically modified plant called biopesticide plant or production of pest resistant plants has been studied and observed and identified and discovered. There are some bacteria called Bacillus thuringiensis. B and T, small letter, capital letter B. So first two letters BT. BT stands for Bacillus thuringiensis. What are these Bacillus thuringiensis? They were nothing but bacteria. What they will do? What is the significance? What is the importance of these Bacillus thuringiensis? Produce Bt toxins, which are called Bacillus thuringiensis toxins. So, toxin means poisonous substances. Toxin means poisonous substances. Poisonous. From where they have taken? From a bacteria called Bacillus thuringiensis. That's why they were called Bt toxins. And these poisonous Bt toxins are because of some genes present in these bacteria. So, in Bacillus thuringiensis bacteria, in its plasmid or in this, some genes are there. These genes are called Bt genes, which are poisonous, toxic, and what they will do, these Bt genes will produce crystal proteins. During their growth, when the organism is growing, at some of its growing stage called sporulation stage. So when they were producing crystal proteins which are poisonous, and the gene is called, now because it will produce crystal genes, no, crygenes, first three letters of the crystals, crygenes. So in Bacillus thuringiensis bacteria produce toxins. How? Because they are having crygenes, and these crygenes produce toxins which are poisonous. For what? They will kill the pests, insect pests. These crystal proteins kill pests, insect pests, a specific group of. So our scientists observe this. Our scientists, they have removed the genes from the bacteria Bacillus thuringiensis. They have cloned the genes and they have incorporated these crygenes into domesticated crop plants. So when the genes of a bacteria which are responsible for production of toxins or poisonous substances have been traced, identified, they were cut and removed, they were cloned, and they were incorporated into the crop plants. Now what happens? The crop plants where the genetic material is incorporated, altered, manipulated, such plants are called Bt plants. There are so many: Bt cotton, Bt rice, Bt corn, and Bt tomato, potato, soya bean. They have given as last sentence of that paragraph in the textbook, my dear students. BT cotton, BT rice, BT corn, tomato, potato, soya bean. How many plants are there? 6 plants. So what are these plants? What is BT means? BT stands for Bacillus thuringiensis. What does it mean? It means the genes of Bacillus thuringiensis, which are toxic to insects or pests, have been made with the crop plants, and these crop plants are called genetically modified crop plants, and the plant itself is a biopesticide. BT plants are, there is no need of further use of any pesticides on these plants. Any chemical based pesticides, there is no need, because plant itself is becoming resistant to the pests. So no usage of, no expensive and no harm to other. These pesticide plants are, they were specific for a particular insect only. So if this plant is specific for this insect, if any other insect will come, it is not going to affect with the plant. Only this particular insect is killed by this plant if it infects. We'll see the process here.